All right. Welcome, guys. About to astonish you with the professionalism on this Periscope. All right. I'm gonna get you situated right there. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome. Welcome to my workspace at my house. And yeah, we're just gonna hang out a little bit and play some tracks for y'all. We go through the beginning of Vitals. We thought it might be fun to just try this out on Periscope. We're getting new to this, so please be kind. I usually have the luxury of editing things together, so I'm going to probably just ramble for a while and just tell you what we got coming up. And I was going to dive into the song Joyrides for you guys. So what we'll do is I'll go through a little bit of how that song came together, and any questions that you guys have. I can't see them as things coming in. So we have our manager looking at some of these questions. What she'll do is she'll put together some choice questions and then email them to me, and a little later in the Periscope I will answer some questions. So welcome, and I am going to play. I'm looking at 10 different demos of Joyrides right now, so I'm gonna try to streamline this for you. It's really interesting. I forgot about some of this stuff that we made to try to get to the end result of Joyrides. Joyrides was probably one of the more laborious tracks that we had. It's almost unrecognizable when I play the first demo. I'm gonna just play this for you and we'll jump right into it. Hear this? Okay. Now, my lighting is incredible, I know. Nice. Some of your courage, carrying that weight, wish I could tell you not to worry. I'm considering your fate, can't say the worst of it is over. When it's all you can take, I wonder why. Cause if we knew about the madness, tragedies to come with. It's an 80s synth fest right now. Regretting what we've done, now go out on a limb, we live in. Stay forever young, just how we like, just how we. All right, Michael Jackson, trying. When you're living life as much as we have, there's a fire that gets in your bones, and you can tell yourself it won't be that. Reminds me of Passion Pit a bit. Cause you know it's never ever long. Finally, there's the song. Here we go. And I didn't have any of the lyrics at this point. All we had was that one line. And that's the only part of this original demo that wound up making the final cut. It was the nucleus, definitely survived. That's fun. I like that. So, before I dive into this, how this all came together, how Joyrides even started, I'm really excited to talk about the Songs for Kids event that we're doing next week. It's next Friday, I believe, December 18th. And we're going to be playing the whole new album from start to finish for the first time. All the proceeds from this show will go to Songs for Kids. We got some special guests that'll be joining us. I can't believe it. PJ Morton, who is a local gospel music legend. I don't know if you guys know who PJ Morton is. I got to see him when I was a teenager as a church musician. The word around town was you got to go to Greater St. Stephen's, and that's the black gospel church in town in New Orleans East, and just go there any Sunday night and check it out. And it was just mayhem. So this was like in the 90s, and I remember going to the church, and it was just a musical clinic. It was amazing. And PJ Morton's dad, Paul Morton, is the pastor of the church, who is also a beast of a musician. But I remember the prodigy, his son, was on the organ, and it was just, he was just ripping it up. So anyway, he's been touring with Maroon 5 lately, and he has his own band, and he works a lot with songs for kids also. So we are so excited to have him be one of the guests who are going to be at this event next Friday. We're going to try to do some jam sessions together. So I'm really, really stoked about that. So anyway, there'll be more information on other guests that will be joining us as well. We'll let you know in the next week. So Joyrides, here we go. We were in the middle of a songwriting marathon. It was January 2014. Our New Year's resolution was to write a song every day, and we were in 4 different cities. Everyone was home for the holidays, and we were about to go to Australia in February, so we just decided, let's just try to write a song. New idea every day. So we would everyone would come up with a track. So we're trying to get 4 ideas every day, because all 4 of us were trying to come up with something new and just throw all this new energy from the new year into trying to push the record forward. And I had run into a friend over the holidays, Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen used to play with the band Club of the Suns, who toured with us back in 07 and 06 even. And if you remember Club of the Suns, Jonathan Allen was the bass player. It's one of my favorite bands that have come out of this city. And we were just connecting like, hey man, let's make a track together. So during this time, I called him up and said, man, let's just make a track. I was hitting a wall with some of the ideas we were trying to write for the Mutemath record. And so I went to his house, and we just decided to just work on tracks, just work on music that was not connected to Mutemath. And I was going through a Lindrum phase at the time, and he had just got this new software bundle that had all like the classic 80s synths. And we just started jamming with it, and we put together this track. It was this music. There was no vocals yet. And we had a lot of fun. It was just, yeah, synthtastic, a synthtastic time that we were having. And when I got home, I just started feeling like, oh, let me just throw a vocal on this. Let me just see what happens. And then that's what I did. I mean, and the only thing that wound up living was the Joyrides concept. And I played this demo for the band. And admittedly, you know, this doesn't sound like Mutemath, right? It's fun though. It is fun. That was really fun. But anyway, we knew it needed work, so we just shelved it. We didn't really know what to do at the time. Everyone liked that chorus idea, but the verse needed work, and it was like, oh, well, let's not worry about it, we'll just move on. So what wound up happening is we went to Australia, and I forgot about this song. And while we were touring in Australia, I was going through some other songs I had worked on, wondering if there might be any inspiration that we could get from other songs. Usually when you have a chorus idea that you really like, you want to try to figure out whatever the problem is with the verse or the bridge or the vibe or the chords or whatever it may be. And that's what we felt we had with this. There was a good nucleus. So I was trying to figure out, how do we rewrite the verses? And I pulled up this one track. It was just an instrumental track that I had worked on the year prior. It's called Not Just Another, right? So it was just this groove idea I had. Some Junos. And now you can start to hear some of the organ donors that wind up becoming Joyrides. For one, that's the groove. That is the nucleus of the groove for the verse, the main part. So we started working off that. And I decided, well, let me just try to throw a different type of verse vocal on it. And then we married it in a Joyrides and became this. To that pre-chorus that we wound up cutting, but yeah, then it went to the chorus. So this started feeling closer. It was like, all right, well, we've got something we can work with now that maybe we could put in the band room and try to see if this could become a Mutemath song, but still felt like it was missing an extra little something. You know, we had a verse, chorus, but like, you know, what else? What else is this song gonna do? And I'm a sucker for always trying to suss out if there's a twist to be had, and you know, a really fun bridge or an outro you don't see coming. And there was this another idea that we worked on that I had heard. It was called Starting Lights, and the only thing I liked from this track was the outro. And so I started wondering if it could help Joyrides. So this is it. This is the track Starting Lights. Very different, but it's kind of the same feel. Yeah, some of the programming from this we wound up bringing over to Joyrides. And I will just tell you, my favorite software is Melodyne. Melodyne is where it's at because we are constantly changing tempos or like ideas. You come up with something really nice for this one idea. You realize, oh, it should have been like, we should have recorded 5 BPM faster or put it 1/2 step higher so it could help this other song that needs that. Throw it in Melodyne. So we did that a lot. So that's what happened with this particular idea, which I'm realizing as I'm checking this out. This is part of Light Up as well. So that, I was circling around the lyrical concept actually for what became Light Up. But there's this little outro right here. This was the key. Yeah, that's nice. I like this one. So that outro, I really liked at the time. We were trying to figure, well, can that be a part of Joyrides somehow? So we pitched it, little tempo maneuvering, and we put it in here. now it's starting to get really fun. And that particular demo was when we're like, okay, I think we might have a contender for this record. But we're just making a mess right now. I'm not really sure exactly how to hone it in. Lyrics are kind of mixed match because we were pulling from this song, and so it was hard to know how to make this thing feel cohesive. And I'm giving myself a headache right now just going back through the journey of, I mean, this is probably every month we were making a new demo for this song, trying to figure out the puzzle. And I'm going to pause right there because we're about to move into what became the final stretch of this song. But for all of you guys who have questions about anything, our manager is looking at some of the questions, and I think she's singling a few out. She's going to email them to me in a bit. In a couple minutes, I'll go through a few of the questions. I'll be happy to answer them. I'm not sure there is a song that we've ever done that's had more revisions or versions of it. Maybe Electrify came close off of Armistice, and the other one was Used To on this album that we had quite a few revisions going. And we probably torture ourselves unnecessarily, but it's part of the fun for me. This is, making a mess with music, and we got into a place on this, right? We were just following our bliss, whatever we wanted to try, or mess up, it was fine. It was complete freedom to just go there. And that philosophy is horrible for deadlines, but it's really fun for just getting that euphoric effect that you want to have from music once you call it finished, And some songs, actually for us, most songs take longer than others. But finally, by this demo, we knew we were on to something, and we just had to figure out how to get the lyrics right in the verses. I wasn't happy with the lyrics, and usually when I'm not happy with the lyrics, that just means I have to start over on the melody, because melody and lyrics are usually attached. They come as a package deal, and so it was beyond just tweaking a word here and there. There was a vibe in the verses that I wasn't having, so I tried another verse. You were always smiling on the outside. It's a fight for open doors. It might be fine, but you cannot ignore. Just feels a little sleepy. It's a nice melody, but it wasn't the right spirit yet. And also the bridge lyric I wasn't happy with. I was singing "These lights go away, come around," and which was from the idea called Starting Lights. And so I was like, well, what should the bridge say? And finally, this line hit me of the "Hold on, the world is our merry-go-round," and I tried, well, can that work with this vibe? So we're getting there, baby steps, step by step. We're building this thing that's finally starting to feel like a record. So now it's finally prepped to where we're going to all get in a band room and try to play this song. And if any of you guys had seen us at our shows in 2014 or maybe 2015 as well, the early versions of Joyrides was this. This is what we were playing. We had this guitar thing. It was when Roy started playing this guitar thing that the idea for a new melody came to me. Started feeling alive. we got more lyrics in the chorus in this particular version. So now we started feeling like we're on to something that could be a Mutemath song. We started playing it live, felt good about it, and then we tracked it. Then we came back home, we properly tracked it. And this would have been on the record except for something I'm going to tell you. This was almost what wound up on Vitals. Done. It was cooked. We were high-fiving. We were very happy. And then God bless my bandmates, because this is the moment where it's not exactly fun to be in a band with me. But since we were producing this ourselves, there's something I learned over the years from producers. Whenever you do a really good take, they're cheering you on. Like I remember finally gutting myself in this one vocal take and the producer going, "That was astonishing. That was the magical take. There has never been singing." Like, and just over the top praise, right? And you go, oh, you're thinking, okay, I got it. And then the producer goes, now give me 5 more, just like that. And you start realizing that the methodology is when you think you finally got something, you should always go just a little bit past and wait for it to get worse. And then when it's getting worse, then you go back. You go back a few steps. So the thing that was haunting me about this particular version of Joyrides was like, I just wonder if it could be a little better. I'm really happy with it. So while everyone was at home in this very room, I decided to pull up the session, and I was just going to make sure there wasn't a better approach. We had been playing it live, and I was happy with it, but there was something. I couldn't put my finger on it, what it was. So, as with most ideas, I mute everything when I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. I mute everything and I just bring up the drums. So I started playing the drums, right? So there's good old Darren, right? It's like, okay, it's nice. Put in a little bit of the programming. And then I just pulled up a sound on the Juno. That's nice. Wait, let me go to the verse here. Something about that groove, it's really nice. Started jamming on that and having fun, enjoying the sound and the groove, and it just felt like, I don't know, something fresh was happening. And I made a demo of this. I just had the drums and I recorded the bass, and then I took a guitar take that was buried in the other versions of Joyrides, and tried to put it with this and see if there was a vibe. Kind of like that. Uh-oh, the band's gonna hate me. Is the vocal all right? So then I was tormented because it started feeling good, and maybe it was a remix, and I didn't know. I was drawn to it, and I really could envision us playing this as a band, this particular composition. So I made a demo of this and sent it to the guys. I'm like, please don't hate me. Please still be in a band with me. Just trying to make sure we have we exhausted all possibilities on this song. And we were divided. We weren't sure what was the right move, and so we decided to try to just play this live. And I think that was the defining moment. I think once we all got in a room, we started building on this. It started to make more sense, and I think we were just having more fun playing this particular version of it. So we started tracking to this. Added the synth bits. That was the big thing for me too in the chorus. Because of the way that the lyric and the vocal was hitting the chorus, there was nothing on that downbeat, you know, and it felt like it was a missed opportunity to put something there. So we just created this little counter melody, dun 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 dun, lay your tears. That whole thing happened as a call and answer with the synth part. So it started feeling like a more cohesive song. And that's it. And then we sent what we tracked to a wonderful gentleman by the name of Mark Needham, and he mixed it for us. And I am super excited on how this track came out. But that's the journey. So I am going to take a look at some questions now. I don't know, how long was that? Would I have been on for a half hour? I'm sorry, just rambling. Let's see here before I go any further. Why the decision to use more synths on this album? Yeah, there's been, obviously coming out of Odd Soul, it seemed like quite a shock to the system. But before Odd Soul, you know, synths certainly had always been commonplace for us. I think in Odd Soul we dove more into guitars, and that was actually the shock to the formula for us. Just making such a guitar-heavy, guitar riff-based type of album. So I think in a lot of ways we were just kind of craving going back to sort of a true to form type of approach. And I think once we found out Todd was such a great synth player, creatively it certainly inspired us to embrace that a little more. And Roy was really coming into his own as a guitar player. You know, Odd Soul was the first time he had done all the guitars, and I think us taking an approach where Roy was still in the rhythm section. He just wasn't playing on the bass. he just moved to guitar, and that kind of became the theme of this record for the rhythm. It's still Darren and Roy, but it's Roy with these counter melodies and percussion that he's creating on guitar. So we just had a lot of fun with that. And it opened up space for the synths to kind of push the songs along a little more. And yeah. And I know there's been some talk of, where's Darren? Where is he? He's all over this album. It was a bit of a different approach than what we had done on Odd Soul, especially, which was basically just hit and record, and it was a jam session for drums and bass a lot. But yeah, we were just craving, really trying to uncover a new part of what groove meant for this band. And you know, you listen to this drum take right here. This is Joyrides, right? You know, so you got the basic track he laid down. It's a nice groove, right? And then we just set up an overdub, right? So this room mic thing. It's really nice. Put some programming on it, thicken it up a little bit. But that was definitely an uncharted area for Darren creatively. You know, he just never really played beats that grooved like that in this particular BPM. You know, we've always been sort of a 93 BPM type of band, or would jump to like 140. So getting to explore in between 110 and 130 BPM a lot on this record was a lot of fun for the rhythm. Just hadn't gone there before. I'm looking at the questions. I'd love to see. Hilarious questions. I can't even process them all. These are great questions. It's an inspiring song. All right, the one that stood out. Do I sleep better at night knowing that Darren is the world's greatest drummer and he's in this band? Absolutely. Absolutely. As much as you guys love and appreciate Darren, multiply that times 10 for me. Exponential appreciation. We have a great time making music together. I'm glad we're still at it after 10 years. How did you create the snare sounds? How did we create the snare sounds? Gosh, it's really Darren. That's all it is. How he tunes and tapes his drums is a big part of the sound. We try not to overprocess the drums. All we do is overdrive them a bit. We put them in a very dead room and overdrive them. And Darren, the way he balances his sound, you know how hard he plays his hi-hat in relationship to the snare, in relationship to the kick, you know, that's what creates, you know, his sound. And he's just great at it. He's honed it in beautifully over the years. So really lucky to have that as a part of our records. I just saw it disappear. Something about the Paul Meany sideways shuffle come into existence. I don't even know. I guess that is some sort of dance move, which I will definitely attribute to Darren. Darren just creates the kind of beats that will provoke a sideways shuffle move every now and then. All right, I'm only gonna go. I'll go a little long, and I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for having hung around this long. And I saw something about Hit Parade, Club of the Suns. I can't even read it. And I'm not getting an email from our manager, so she probably gave up. Sorry, I can't even read this as fast as it's happening. But thank you guys for your wonderful comments and hilarious questions. I'll probably just we'll do the question thing maybe on Twitter. Maybe that's a little easier. And God bless you guys. Have a great time. If this wasn't too boring, maybe we'll do it again sometime. I have a headache having gone through all this, but it makes me very appreciative of what we ended up with in the end. So yeah, thanks for taking that journey with me. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all around. Have a good weekend, guys.